Welcome to the first day of Thotmas, the grand finale to the 12 Days of Thotmas series. You stuck with us this far. I don't know why, but here you are. You are about to get the long-awaited Thad story next year. All right, everyone, thanks for listening. See ya. No, I kid. Without further ado, Drexel, please tell us the Thad story.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, our feature presentation. So, long time coming. This guy, first of all, Merry Christmas to everybody. You should be just now opening all your presents and giving all your presents to loved ones and all that. And I know you don't really give a shit about your family. So, you came here for the long awaited story that I have blue balled you guys with for 2 years of a level of fuckery so epic that this is the most unique of all of the stories of Thotmas because I had to actually write it down. There's just so much to remember, so many moving parts, so much going on. Um, and hell, this is almost like fucking therapy for me because the person I was before, it's kind of like, you have epochs in your life, right? You have like, before your first child is born, and then after, and you have those moments in your life where you say, something happened to me and I became a different person afterwards. Fads is that event, that, life altering event that just changes a man down to his core, down to his fucking nutsack, just changed irrevocably, altered. And we're gonna get right into it so that you guys can be blue balled no longer. So, in order to start the Thad story, you got to first understand the context of what's going on. So, the supporting cast, if you will, the my co-star for the Thad story is the reason why I'm down there in the first place. Of course, I'm not going to use her name, so we're going to call her for the story Miss San Diego. Right now, when I met Miss San Diego years ago, crazy enough, I remember reaching out to her and being like, "Damn, I like her pics. I like what she's working with." I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and go down to San Diego, meet her." And what ends up happening is I actually flew out to LA. And for those of you who have followed Nick's show, you guys know I'll oftentimes shout out to my man Big Herc from the Fresh Out series and the Big Herc. I think it's like 213 or something like that. His other channel where he is talking about whatever prison related and non-prison related. So I actually met Big Herc when I met Miss San Diego, and he was due to pick me up at the Hilton I was staying at in Los Angeles. I saw all kinds of shit go down over there, like, an actual, prostitute and John walk up and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, he comes from North Hollywood and took 2 hours and 40 minutes to come get me, even though, MapQuest says it's different, but that's California traffic. So we go down to San Diego, meet up with Miss San Diego and a Brazilian chick. We'll call her Miss E. And or actually, we'll just call her Miss Brazil because I got another Miss E in the story. So Miss Brazil, she goes ahead, and there was a whole nother story there. That could be a whole nother story of Thotmas, but to just cut through that, that's when I met Miss San Diego. Me, Herc, all these people meet for the first time. So after you deal with that, let's flash forward, right? So we flash forward, and you guys got to remember what I'm going through at this point. So at this point, I am knee deep in family court and dealing with bullshit related to family court. This is getting closer to the end when you have a final custody agreement. And I'm like, look, man, this shit's just fucking lame. I'm over it. I need to get out and clear my head, right? And by clear my head, I mean clear my fucking balls, right? So I'm thinking, what could go wrong? Well, in my mind, nothing could go wrong. Because if you think about it, in my lifetime, I've been everywhere. San Diego, especially at this point in my life, stood out as the single best place I've ever been. It worked for me. So I said, I'm gonna go to my favorite place, hang out with my good friend, Miss San Diego. Everything is gonna be fine. Well, how fine did it go? Well, we're gonna go ahead and see, right? So before I go, I actually had tweaked my back badly. So I really tweaked my back and I said, dude, I don't know, man. I don't know if I can make this trip because my shit's fucked up. And I'm struggling. I can barely walk. And I don't know if it pinched a nerve or what. I ended up talking to a coworker of mine, old school dude. This dude had, I mean, he's like, what, 30 years older than me, 20 something years older than me. And I'm sitting there complaining to him, like, and he's like, oh yeah, you're ready for your trip or whatever. You're about to be going out there doing your thing. I said, dude, I don't know, man. I said, I don't know, man. Fuck my fucking back, man. I can't do it, man. I don't think I can go. He goes, man, shut your motherfucking ass up. You a goddamn lie. You know you me going out there fucking all them white bitches. And I just bust out laughing. I couldn't help it, man. I start laughing. And of course, when you laugh with a hurt back, your back starts hurting like shit, right? So there I am in agonizing pain. And I said, all right, look, man, I'm still gonna roll out there and go. So I end up heading out. I can't remember if it was the next day or it might have even been that same night that I saw him. So I fly into San Diego. Miss San Diego comes, picks me up at the airport, gives me a big hug and kiss and all that stuff. And she tells me that, I can't I believe she told me we were going somewhere. So she's like, "Oh yeah, be ready." So I said, "Cool." And I remember she said she had like a surprise for me or something, be ready. So when she caught me from the airport, it's like, "Yeah, we'll go ahead and shower up and everything. Let's get ready to take you to Thad's." And I was like, "What the hell is Thad's?" So she says, "Well, Thad's is this swing club right here, not too far from me in I think she was like in Cathedral City." So she tells me we're going to Thad's, and I said, "Okay, cool." So she kind of explains like the basic premise. So she pulls out her purse and pays for us to get in. And for those of you who don't know, swing clubs always have rules, and each one has their own set of rules and guidelines and regulations. And like I said, personally, I would rather just go ahead and have the freaks go back to a hotel. That's my personal preference. But hey, she's taking me out. What do you want me to do, right? So we get in, and the rule of fads is that women are allowed to be naked, or they can wear lingerie, right? And for any of you guys who understand women and their inherent insecurity, women aren't going to walk around anywhere fucking naked unless it's like a feminist march, but they're all ugly and nobody wants to see them naked anyway, right? Because it's empowering. So that's the rule for the women. For the dudes can either walk around naked or walk around holding like a small white towel, right? So basically, they want the ladies in the club to see your package. Now, of course, as you guys can imagine, the flip side to this is that, like, I mean, at the same time, as a fellow dude, you're like, well, bruh, like, I don't want to see any dude's package while I'm walking around. Like, yeah, the towel can only do so much, but it's like, I just don't want to be looking at dudes. But it is what it is, right? So we get into Thad's on night number one. She gives me the layout of the club. So when you walk in, you pay, and then you turn a corner, and they have little lockers for everybody. So you go in, you put your stuff in your locker because, as you know, like I just said, you're either naked or in lingerie, so you're not gonna have room to be walking around with purses or whatever else. So we get into the club proper. There's a kind of like a meeting kind of area where there's like tables and booths. Then off over to the right, you've got the bar, and there's like a dancing kind of section, like a dance floor kind of area. And then of course you keep going out that same direction, and you go outside, and there's like a pool and all that stuff. And then of course around both corners is you go upstairs. Upstairs is where all the playrooms are, right? So Miss San Diego gives me like just like a little kind of like a little tour, right? Because she knows I don't drink. So I'm just kind of like, okay, I'm just kind of seeing, scoping out the scene, seeing how it's like. And I'm just kind of noticing some things, right? Like the kinds of people that are here. She introduced me to some people. There was actually I believe it was an Asian couple or something. And yeah, the chick was looking right. And just kind of like, okay, cool. Just kind of feeling the vibe, seeing how everyone's going. I'm thinking like, okay, this is not a bad place, right? And there was a chick there that had this huge ass. huge, like comically big ass. Now, was it fake? I don't know. I wasn't really checking for fake asses back then, so who knows? But she had some beta cuck husband, and of course, later on that night, I saw dude smashing his and running a train on her while he watched because that's all these guys are good for. So during this time, though, there was this creepy ass dude. And he's like pacing around. Remember, as you guys remember, guys have on a towel. They're walking with the towel in their hand. So he's walking around. Imagine seeing a like sort of pasty white dude, skinny, just pacing through a swing club with nothing but naked and half naked people. It makes you go like, I mean, I like this place, but I don't know if I like it enough because of this one dude, right? So you're like, whatever. So as the night kind of progresses, I was kind of like, okay, I kind of feel the vibe. And, I'm still kind of like, somewhat attached to Miss San Diego because, of course, when you're entering a foreign environment, you're kind of, you're kind of stick with the person that you know for security, right? So we go upstairs, smash Miss San Diego, back pain is gone, and hello fucking endorphins. For those of you guys out there who know, if you've ever had back pain or anything like that, and you said to yourself, oh man, I don't know if I can do something, man. Did fucking cure it? Because it did for me. I smashed Miss San Diego, and I kid you not, all back pain was gone, right? Gone, wiped away.
Yep.
Now, of course, the
Yeah,
shit
I
came
know
back.
this.
You know what I'm talking about, don't you, Tim?
I know exactly what you're talking about. I've had back pain.
You have that, right? Where you're like, I can't do anything, right? Like
I was out for a year, man. I could barely fucking walk.
barely walk, right? Like I told you, I said, remember I told my coworker, I said, dude, I can barely walk. Like I can't. I'm not in shape to be doing any kind of smashing. That's all it takes.
Here's the funny part. Also discovered jerking off also temporarily relieves it.
Does it?
Yeah.
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. I was never a jerker. Not my thing. That's what a chick's job is.
Well, obviously the smash the smash lifts it a lot longer.
Oh yeah,
If you know what I
absolutely.
mean.
Yeah, I was, dude. I was like, when I tell you I was good to go, I kid you not. It felt like I had no back pain at all. Right. Later that night, take a guess what came back. It all came back, right? Like tenfold. It was like so I went from like, oh yeah, damn, I'm good. By the time I went to sleep, and if I recall, it was like even like I think I took a shot. We went back to her place, took a shower, and I thought to myself, okay, like I made it, right? I made it. My back is shitty, but damn, I think I can go through another day as long as I can smash again. My back pain should go away, right? So that was my
What a
logic.
perfect cover story.
Yeah, right.
Babe, you don't understand. I need to smash right now.
I need to smash. Do you want this back pain to go? Do you want me hunched over? Well, then go ahead and get this dick wet, right? So that's day one, right? That all of this is like is all the prologue, right? So day two, the Thad story proper. So day two comes, ladies and gentlemen. We return to Thad's. And this return is when, this is going to be that fateful night that everyone's been waiting for. We return back there with Miss San Diego. She introduces me to there's this interracial couple, black guy, white woman. They're like, I'd say middle age. They're probably like 40s, somewhere in their 40s. And, talking to them, just like, okay, yeah, you guys are cool or whatever, whatever, right? You're not really paying much attention because it's a general rule of thumb that you guys need to understand is that for men, we'll be cordial and nice to anyone, right? We're not trying to, cause beef, especially with people that know friend, if they're a friend of a friend, right? But also, and you know this, Tim, there's a limit to how nice and comforting you are with a chick that you have no interest in smashing, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Like you have it like don't get me wrong, you could be nice and friendly, but there's a certain extra that you have when it's a chick that you're like, man, I want to smash. There's just a little bit extra.
I know this
Well,
well.
because of that physical attraction wasn't there. I didn't really think much of it or feel much of it, right? What ends up happening though is that this couple introduces me to their friend, and we're gonna call her Miss E. And I take one look at this chick. She looked like a prime Elizabeth Shue. So if any of you guys can go look up prime Elizabeth Shue, the actress, That's what she looked like the long blonde, like super curly hair. And I'm like looking at her like, damn. So the way that swing clubs work is that unlike that pasty white dude who was just pacing, you typically want to size up someone or someone's that you're like, you know what, man, I'm gonna put my eggs in this smash basket. So I'm thinking, so in my mind, I'm thinking like, hey, by the end of the tonight, Miss E is gonna get smashed, right? So let me go ahead and gas her up. Let me just talk her up, smooth it out, and then we're gonna proceed, right? And so we're chatting and making small talk. I'm making plans in my mind as I'm talking to Miss E. I look over to my right. We're sitting at these tables, right? In walks Cynthia, and no one says shit. And then they notice Cynthia came in, and it's like, oh, Cynthia. And I'm like, okay, person they know, obviously, right? No big deal. So Cynthia comes through and she walks over and we're talking because all these people know each other, right? So talking and talking and talking. People just normal swing club talk, right? So Cynthia comes and sits in the booth. And again, no one's saying shit. In walks another dude, a black dude. And a couple people recognize him, right? And I'm just kind of like, oh yeah, random dude, right? Miss E knows this guy. So she gets giddy. I'm like, ah, fuck. So they start talking, and it's clear that she has like this guy either they plan to be there at the same time or one of those situations, right? He just happened to come. I'm guessing it was one of those like, oh, you're going to Thad's on day X. Well, I'm going to Thad's on day X. So that's what it kind of looked like. They planned on being there together, and they went ahead and got it in, right? So they're talking at the table for a little bit. I think I may have introduced myself, but within minutes it was like, all right, he grabs Miss E. They go upstairs to smash. I was like, oh fuck. So in my mind, I'm thinking, I mean, hey, I took a small L, whatever, right? You roll with the punches. This is a fucking swing club, and I'm in San Diego. What could go wrong?
Yeah, as we said in episode 4, you do strike out sometimes. We
Oh,
all
always,
do.
always. Every dude, doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter if you're Brad Pitt, every dude strikes out when they're like, ooh, man. And sometimes, like I said, it's just circumstance, right? Like that dude had an in. She already knew him. They're comfortable with each other. I can't compete. You're not going to compete against somebody that someone is 100% familiar with, and they just walk in. Hey, there you are. And especially if they made plans, we're out. And it's like, well, that was that, right? So we're back to Cynthia, right? And Cynthia, like I said, she's sitting in the booth, and we're chatting a little bit. And there was another gal there. She ends up getting up fairly early in the conversation and leaving. But I'm looking at Cynthia, like I'm sizing her up, right? Because like I said, all these girls in this club have on lingerie. And I ain't gonna lie to you guys, man. Body wise, I would give Cynthia. She kind of like like that plastic, like not plastic doll look, but if you've ever been to Southern California, then those kind of guys know what I'm talking about. There's a certain look that they have out there that's like it's that like doll done up kind of look all in one, right? So I would say her body is a strong 8, right? But I'm talking to Cynthia in this damn booth. And bruh, I'm looking at the hands and I'm like,
Oh no. Oh no.
okay. I
No, no,
mean,
no, 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 no.
I mean, I mean, my mom's got big hands. Uh,
Okay, so first of all, if you're going through a checklist of red flags,
mhm.
comparing to your mother is the first red flag.
Yep,
That should have been the first sign of trouble.
yep. No, there are a lot of red flags, man. But here's what ends up happening. So when you're looking at someone's hands, you're thinking to yourself, okay, because once again, Cynthia's tall, right? Okay, let's be fair. Have you ever, dealt with a volleyball player? Basketball, bigger hands, right? Okay. And then the voice, a little raspy.
Like she ate a pack of cigarettes for breakfast, raspy?
No, like, fuck. How do you define this kind of raspy? It's the kind of raspy that maybe like, okay, a girl who just woke up. A girl just you know that when your voice is a little raspy when you wake up, right? And you're like, okay. And so again, I'm looking and I'm like, I don't know, man. So I kind of look over, left, right shoulder, right? And again, no one's saying shit. Back to Cynthia. I'm checking the Adam's apple. I don't see one. Okay, well, let's weigh this, girls, guys. Let's weigh this out. You can have a girl who has bigger hands. Check. You can have a girl who has a raspier voice. I've been around that before. Check. I don't see an Adam's apple. Check. And at this point, the most important thing, no one's saying shit. If there were anything that someone should know, you would let them know. You see what I'm saying? So that's my rationale. Like, hey, you remember that party that you said that happened in that random place where the girl had HIV? Well, you would tend to think that somebody would point that shit out to you, right? Like, oh, by the way, right?
Yeah.
So when you're sitting in a fucking swing club in San Diego and you're looking to your left and right, and these are people that you know now, right? You saw them the night before, and your girl who brought you there, and you looking to your left and right, and no one's saying shit. You're like, okay, whatever, right? I'm just kind of letting the night flow accordingly, right? So I sit there, and as you guys remember, the dance floor is right next to the tables. So Miss San Diego is on the dance floor with this white dude, and she goes, "Hey Cynthia, look at this guy's cock!" And we were in the middle of a conversation, so I turn and look. I'm like, "The fuck?" Because I know her. That came out of left field, right? So I'm like, "Where the fuck did that just come from?" Like, okay, so in my mind, I'm thinking like rude, right? So I get back to Cynthia. We're talking. And she said the magic words that sealed my fate, right? She's talking about, like just the type of guys that she likes and things like that. And this is a pro tip for all women on earth. If you ever are sitting there and you're like, God, it's been a while. I really want to get my back blown all the way out. There's one of two things you can say. Saying one, I've never been with a black guy before. You're going to learn today. There's another thing that you can say, Tim. And do you have any idea what that other thing could be?
I like nice guys.
Nope. Wrong.
Damn it.
The correct answer is, oh, no, no, no. God, I'm not like that. I don't fuck black guys.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I get it.
Tim, everyone who's listening, understand this. When a woman is talking to you and leaning forward and says, you're not my type, this is a shit test. Okay. This is the first time I ever aced a shit test and got an F at the same fucking time. So she says that and game on, right? Once she said, I don't do black guys, that she said that she preferred, she said Italian was her favorite and maybe Latino. She was like, yeah, black, that's a strong no. That is automatic no, right? Well, I'm me. I'm fucking me. I'm gonna fuck what you like. You're gonna take this
We're
dick.
switching gears here,
We're
lady.
switching gears tonight. Like, you cannot like black guys. You cannot like black people. but you're gonna like this black dick tonight. Okay. You're gonna take this dick. So I'm thinking, all right, look, we're chatting a little bit more, chatting a little bit more. Before I know it, I look over my shoulder, the interracial couple I told you about. The dude is kind of like leaning in on me, and I'm kind of like, what the fuck is this dude's problem? Now, remember, guys, one of the worst things a man can ever have, other than being stuck in family court for as long as I was, is being stuck in family court, needing a release, and having thirst. So I'm thinking, okay, look, man, there's some weird shit going on around me in Thad's tonight. I got my friend over here talking about a guy's dick size. I got this couple where the dude is kind of creeping up on me, and like I said, guys are in naked except for a white towel. So I don't want anyone's dick near me because that's not how I roll. And the whole time I'm thinking, yeah, that's kind of weird. Nothing to make me go, yeah, this is something crazy, right? So Cynthia and I are leaning in at this point. We wind up getting up from the table. I'm thinking, well, I couldn't get it in with Miss E, so I'm gonna go ahead and smash this chick, right? No one's saying no, so we leave. And out of the corner of my eye, I see Mr. Interracial couple, the husband, the boyfriend, whatever. He starts following us. Okay. This is weird, but nothing's crazy, right? Okay, we're upstairs now. There's rooms upstairs for fucking, right? There's a gangbang room, couples room, themed rooms, and I was like, look, I don't give a fuck what room I wind up in as long as I go ahead and smash this bro, 'cause I gotta get this nut busted. That's my whole objective for tonight. Bust this nut.
This is like
Well,
watching an episode seconds from disaster.
yeah,
And you
about
start
that.
recognizing the chain of events. And you're like, no, don't do that. Don't try to turn the plane when it's telling you it can't turn.
Oh yeah, it's only gonna end in abject failure, right? So we're getting ready to go smash. And we have, the bathroom is right there, right? So she goes in the bathroom, and I'm just kind of like just standing there waiting. I'm like, well, I got to use the bathroom real quick too. I'll freshen up, whatever. And I'm like, okay, everything's good. She walks out, and she's standing there waiting for me. I said, let me use the bathroom real quick. I walk in. So the toilet seat is up. Oh, toilet seat.
60 seconds from disaster.
Okay. Okay. Her voice is a little raspy. Her hands are a little big. I didn't see an Adam's apple, but maybe it's dark in here. Maybe there was a surgery to shave the fucking thing, right? I think that's a thing. It's 2000, I think 11 at this point. And I'm like, shit. Okay, but no one said anything. Okay, change of plans, y'all. The goal for me after I take a quick leak and freshen up and wash my balls is when I tell guys to always finger check women to make sure that they're fresh and clean down there. Now I got a finger check to make sure there's no fucking dick and balls, right? So I'm thinking, look, man, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. My heart it wasn't racing. It was kind of like started boom, 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 like starting to speed up. Like, oh shit, I don't know where this night's going, but I don't know, man. At first I gave myself, 90-10 of this was gonna be a good night. Now I'm at 50-50, right? So we decide to go into the Las Vegas room, right? We come out of the room, and I'm thinking in the back of my mind, okay, remember, finger check, finger check. So we get in the Las Vegas room, shut the door, lock it. You always lock the door behind you because otherwise someone's just going to walk in on you, right? So I lock the door. I'm thinking everything is good. We're just gonna finger check or hand check in this case and make sure we're all set, right? So Cynthia and I start touching. Okay, this is good. And then, like, the kissing stuff, right? Because now I'm reaching my hand, and it's like, with any other interaction with a woman in a bedroom, you're touching, you're rubbing, you're touching, and you're fondling while kissing, right? So I reach down, and I reach down, and remember she's in lingerie, right? So I'm rubbing, and I'm like, oh shit, a pussy. Yes. 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 Uh, So at this point, my heart, all that tension went away. And I just thought to myself, thank Lord Jesus. Now let's get back to the mission of Operation Bust a Nut. So we're kissing. And I'm going to tell you right now, Cynthia is the best kisser I ever had, man. Cynthia is great. Great. I was like, holy shit. I'm thinking, damn, like, I mean, I've had good kissers, but I've never had a kisser that good. I'm like, holy shit. Well, I mean, like I said, she's gonna get this black dick. So I'm kissing Cynthia, still touching, and then she starts to go down. So she's creeping down, creeping down, creeping down, creeping down, slow, touch, touch, right just before she gets dick in mouth, right? So she's literally like, I can't remember if she had like on one knee or not at this point, or I think yeah, actually she's on both knees. That's right. She was literally on both knees. Right as that happens, she's on both knees, and I literally did like the lean back because I'm standing up. So I did and I hear stop.
Room service.
I stopped, and I'm like, wait a minute. I stopped, and I'm at first because you remember sometimes you don't know if what you heard was real, right? You're thinking like, oh, wait, did I just hear what I think I heard? Like, so we stop. She stops. Silence. Huh? That was weird. Okay. Anyway, she gets ready to put the mouth on the dick. Lean back again. Oh shit, man. Drex, are you in there? What the fuck? Drex, it's Miss San Diego. I need to talk to you right now. Come out here right now. Right now, I need you. Come in here right now. What the fuck?
The building better be on fucking fire.
So you guys gotta understand. When you're as a man, the Tim, you are correct. The only time you are allowed to beat in a door and knock on a door when I'm about to Hulk smash, or any man is about to Hulk smash, is if the fucking building is on fire and my daughter's life is threatened. Anything else, and I do mean anything, I'm punching you in the throat, right?
Yeah. Like, look, there's two things you are not allowed to interrupt. The Super Bowl and when I'm smashing.
That's it. Can't do it. Not allowed. So I'm like, oh, fuck me. You can't be serious. And I said, yeah. I'm like, yeah, I'm coming. So she knew I was coming to the door. I was like, so I look at Cynthia. I'm like, just give me a second. So she stands up. I walk outside. I'm like, the fuck are you doing? Oh my God. So Miss San Diego is like trembling. I'm like, what the fuck? So she's like, oh my God, I found you. So she's like grabbing me like hurriedly and in her she's panting. She's like, oh my God, you don't understand. I've been looking all over the club for you. I've been checking everywhere. I've been looking. I'm like, yeah, I'm right here. And she goes, so she said, Mr. Interracial couple thinks I went into that room. She sits there and she says that. And I'm like, okay. And then she goes, oh my God, is Cynthia in there? I'm like, yeah. Oh my God, Trex. So we don't know. We can't confirm anything. No one's saying, I don't know. We can't confirm anything, but Cynthia's a guy. Okay. Cynthia's a guy. Tim, have you ever just stood there? So I want you guys gotta remember, man, my dick was hard. Now, notice I said was. Do you know what was means, Tim? That means past tense, right? Done. Shrimp dick.
It almost shot back into your body.
Yeah, it was basically an innie. And I was like, so she drops this bomb in my lap. And she's still trembling. It's like, yeah, so yeah, we don't know, but yeah. And just walks away. The the fuck? Uh, I want you guys to imagine being me, right? You've got choices. You can just leave and not go back in there, right? Or what's your only other option? You're like, well, I guess I go in there and just say it like it. I'm still me, even when I was much younger. It was, so what was this, 9 years ago? I was still me. So I walk in there, and Cynthia's like waiting. So I'm like, hey, so she can tell that something has changed because my body language is different, right? It went from like hot and heavy and being into it to just like dejected and standoffish. And she's like, hey. I'm like, hey, what's the matter, babe? Um, uh, so yeah, man. Miss San Diego said you're a dude, man. All of a sudden. The fuck? I'm so sick of fucking people saying that shit. Yeah, where is she? Where is she? She fucking told you that? I'm a fucking guy. I'm sick of people saying that shit. Walks out of the room. I'm standing there with a limp dick in the Las Vegas room of Thad Swing Club in San Diego. And I just like have my shoulders sunken in, my head down, like, what the fuck just happened? I walk out. Miss San Diego is in the middle of some heated argument and discussion with Cynthia, right? She comes and finds me later on. What did you tell her? Did you say? And I'm like, I told her you said you think she has a dick. Why did you say that? I'm thinking, are you fucking serious? Like I had to say it, right? So now I've inadvertently put my girl in hot water. So one of the club rules is that if you ever knock on a door that is locked and breach a door, it is an automatic permanent ban from the club. Permanently revoked, right? You cannot come back to the club. So this is a serious matter, right? So she basically risked her club life, her swing club life on my lifelong sanity and dignity. So she says that she talks to the owner of the club, and we'll see what happens, right? And of course, this thing blows all up right in my face. As she storms off and has to deal with all this with the club owner, I'm sitting there. I'm just sitting there. There's no emotion, no nothing. I'm literally just sitting there like, what the fuck? This Latin couple comes up to me and the chick grabbed my wrist and walked me in to another fuck room. And the fucking Latino husband was sitting there, shorter dude. He's like a little bigger. He's like, oh yeah, I want to see you fuck my wife. I couldn't get hard. I didn't feel anything. I just can't perform. I was
You know
so
what?
stunned by what happened.
You know what? I'm not in the mood.
I suddenly wasn't in the mood, right? And this has never happened before. Like I've never, unless a chick was a sour patch and she had just stank vag. There was never a time that I just like wasn't in the mood. Like if a chick was in front of me and she looked good, game on. And I'm sitting there. This Latin couple tries to lure me in, and I'm just too shell shocked to get my dick up, right? So I end up walking out. I'm just like, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I go back and talk to Miss San Diego. We end up leaving. We go to bed that night. We do breakfast that next morning. And at breakfast, we start getting to talking, right? And we start discussing what other, just sorting out everything, right? And what are other people saying? And so what ends up happening is everything started to make sense, right? So first up, we're talking about, is Cynthia a dude? Interracial couple dude. So we're on a speakerphone in Miss San Diego's car. And he goes, yo, look, man, here's what it is, man. I'm not gonna say whether yes or no. I don't know, but I'm trying to remember the story. I can't remember if he saw it or he knew someone who saw it. He goes, yeah, but they said it didn't look like a real pussy, man. It's a store-bought pussy, man. It's not a real pussy. Wait, what? Wait, what? So then they start talking more and more and more. Oh, look, man, we're sorry. Look, this is what we thought happened. All of a sudden, everything starts making sense. Everything I tell you guys in the story. So let's backtrack. When I was in the booth with Cynthia, sitting down, talking, when Miss San Diego said, hey, Cynthia, look at this guy's cock. She said that to distract Cynthia so that Mr. Interracial couple could pull me away and tell me, hey, man, we think this might be a dude. Remember when I told you guys he was like kind of leaning toward me, like getting closer to me? So that was a failed distraction, right? Then they tell me, look, we've only seen her take interest in white dudes, like the other dudes. She wasn't going after black dudes. So we didn't know whether you were sitting there talking. We just thought, oh yeah, she's just wasting time or something because she doesn't do black dudes. She's like, and next thing I know, you end up going upstairs and I couldn't find you. Like, where the hell did he go? So Miss San Diego was running around the club trying to find Mr. Interracial couple to find me to tell me. So do you remember when I told you guys I was walking upstairs and this fucker was following me? I'm like, dude, why the fuck is this dude following me? That was him trying to tell me, but he couldn't say anything because she was right in front of me. Remember? We're walking up to the bathroom. So he's trying to lure me away and trying to get me, but there's nothing he can really say. And he's like, oh, shit. And so when there's something that happened, because remember, I told you guys she went in the bathroom first, but I think he must have lost me for that small window of time. And then so when he did see me, it was when I was coming out of the bathroom and he was still there. And I'm kind of like, oh, yeah, what's up, Doe? And it's just like, yeah, what up? You know, I'm about to leave and do my thing. He's just kind of like, oh, shit. Because she was staring at us. And he's just kind of like, well, shit. So he doesn't say shit. Bruh, I board that fucking plane back home and I'm processing all this shit. And I'm like, look, I don't know where these people come from, right? But where I'm from, you are never in a scenario where no one's saying shit. When you think someone has a fucking penis, has, had, will have, anything that involves penis and attachment and body, you let me know, fam. You let me know. Okay? They didn't let me know. And so they were just kind of had this. So this was the issue I had with Californians. And like I said, I still love my homegirl. Make no mistake. I love Miss San Diego. But I'm like, this is a California laissez-faire mentality of, well, hey, I mean, if that's what you're into or you're willing to experiment, just kind of go with the flow. I'm not a go with the flow dude when it comes to fucking anybody who has or ever had a fucking penis, though. I do have a line, right? And I'm back home now. I call up my man, War Starter. So I call up the War Starter and tell him what happened. And we're just discussing this. She's like, man, this is so fucked up. And I said, look, man, I I gotta get over this shit, man. I'm good. And you guys won't believe what happened, man. I'm thinking it's Thad's is behind me. I'm good to go. All of a sudden, it hit. Oh shit. This chick is sending pics. She's talking real sexy. I look down. My dick don't work. The fuck? Uh, uh, it's a fluke. It's an off night. Talk to another chick. Chicks talking about having parties. Look down. The dick don't work. Oh shit. No. So I'm thinking this has got to be a trick, right? This has got to be a trick. I had to try to psych myself out. It just stopped working. I'm like, what? But I'm me.
You can't take the one thing. This is
I
the
can't.
only thing I have.
I need this. I need this dick. I sound like a thought. I need this dick. So
You're trying to bargain with it. It's like, just please, just this one time. I'll never
just
ask
this
you
one time.
anything else again.
What ends up happening is, here's the thing. As a man, you can work, you can provide for society, you can provide for your kids, you can do anything, you can travel, you have hobbies. But let me ask you this: would any of that matter if you didn't have a fucking dick? Not really.
Like, what's the point of life anymore?
Yeah, if someone told you, "Hey man, you can have all the money in the world, but you won't have a dick," it's like, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. So all of a sudden, my dick don't work, and it just won't work. Period. It just stopped working. 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. It just I lost my mojo. My drive went away. Everything went in the shitter. And I'm like, "Oh my god." And then it hit. It was like I wanna say about like month 8 or 9. I was like, "What if this is it? What if I actually lost it permanently?" Right?
I broke my dick. There's
I
nothing that
broke
can
my
fix it.
it's broke. It stopped working. And I was like, I just remember kinda like it wasn't like tearful. It was just kinda like it was like in this permanent state of disbelief. Like, my dick don't work. It's always worked, and it just stopped working. And we get to month 10, and, around month 10/11, I'm talking to, my homegirl back in Montana, right? And I'm thinking I didn't tell her about the trauma, and I'm finally, like, mentally, I'm trying to, like, psych myself out, right? Like, psyching myself out, psyching myself out, psyching myself out. It's all in your head, right? Because I don't believe in going to therapy. I believe that every problem in the world is made in a mirror, and every problem is resolved in a mirror. So I'm sitting there thinking, like, okay, it's all in your head. It's all in your head. And we're talking, and like I said, this is my homegirl. We're all good. And she like I said, she prime her. She had like an Angelina Jolie kind of look. And we end up I fly out to go meet her. This is literally, I think, a week before my trial for child custody. A week before. Um, and I saw her, that was in February. So that would have been February 2012. And I get out there, And lo and behold, she solved it. She solved my dick problem, right? So at long last, my dick worked again. And at first I was like, but what if it's only with her? Or what if I lost it with everyone else, right? And sure enough, that was all it took. It was like the mental hurdle of that getting out. And then I finally, after 11 goddamn months, I regained my mojo. I regained my fucking dick. And I just remember having that feeling of like, look, man, I'm not going to let thirst get in my way again when it comes to shit like this, right? When you wind up in a scenario where you almost fuck a fucking tranny because moral of the story, lesson of the story, the infamous Thads of how I got ended up with fucking ED out here dealing with someone who may or may not have had a damn Adam's apple and a fucking swinging dick is you get to that point where it hits you. You're like, bruh, never again. This whole, oh, I'm just gonna meet somebody. Nope, I need to know every fucking thing. So when I seem like very assholish, that's why. All of this shit came from Thads. Every ounce of my being that I became, the man I became, was from fucking Thads. Oh no, Drex, I'm this and that. No, no, bitch. I need to see receipts. I need to see receipts. Listen, you want to talk to me? You want to get my dick hard? Show me pictures of every year you were in school. I need to make sure. Show me your birth certificate. Show me your social security card. I need to know that you were born with a fucking vagina. Okay. I need to
I
touch it.
want your chromosomes on a
Yeah, I
panel.
need to see it. I want to see it. What's your blood type? I need to know everything. Because when you go through some shit like this in life, man, you start thinking, oh fuck. Oh fuck. You start to you see things differently, right? Because when The Hangover came out, you guys remember that movie came out like 2009, I believe, right? It was funny, but the shit has a different meaning when if you actually go through with it, right? Because you guys got to remember one of the main reasons why I think the ED set in was because if she does not knock on that door at the exact moment that she does, that means I would have gotten head by a dude, man. Allegedly, we still can't confirm, right? You can't. No one can definitively say, but let's just say for the sake of argument.
It's the not knowing, but also it was the you talked yourself out of the possibility. So you were all in, right? Yeah.
Yep,
Going to town on this broad. I'm gonna fucking blow her back out. I'm gonna do all sorts of nasty stuff to her.
that was the plan. That was the
And
plan.
then someone drops the atomic nuke on your head.
Yeah, you know what? I'm glad you
And
brought
you've
that
got to
up.
go from 100 to 0, right?
Quick, in literally 1 second flat. Like she drops that bomb on me, done. And the reason why that's so important is this: when it comes to men, right? So women's greatest fear is, oh my god, the worst fear I have is if I was taken advantage of. Even though a lot of women, there's multiple studies that say a lot of women wish they had a rape fantasy, right? That's like number one on their list. Men don't have a I want to fuck a tranny fantasy, okay? Unless it's J Love's boy toy, you know.
Look, if it's your thing, it's your thing. But if it's not your thing, it will never be your thing. You'll never be like, oh, I'll just try it this one time, right?
Never, never. So, and here's the other thing, and this is, and I'm gonna actually, I'm gonna forward this video, this Christmas gift to Cress because I've talked to Cress about that because Cress is trans, and I said one thing that's not okay, okay, and I want to make this clear with this is my big beef with like the whole trans community. If you are a trans person, whether it's female to male, male to female, whoever you deal with has to be made aware of any. Like, if there's any funny business, they need to know because you have to put the ball in their court. Because it's not fair to if someone winds up doing some shit, and like you said, not knowing. Could you imagine the psychological damage? You imagine that shit? Like, imagine if Miss San Diego knocked on the door. Look, think about it. 2 minutes later, that means I would have gotten head. Let's say 10 minutes later. What if I'm smashing? Right? If you smash and that door gets knocked on, maybe I don't answer the door, right?
Yeah.
See? So it's like, this is my outreach to the trans community. You better stop that fuck shit, okay? All this whole the fun is him not knowing, or well, if I tell him, then he won't be into me anymore. Look, a lot of trans people, and you know this, Tim, wind up dead because of that shit, right?
Yep.
That whole I'm not gonna tell him. And remember, okay, this is allegedly a post-op tranny, right? Allegedly. So yeah, that's why it takes longer to realize something. But imagine, you remember, most of those cases that you hear, those are usually pre-op trannies.
Yeah, chick got dick.
Yeah, they're a chick with a dick. So they wind up trying to hide the shit, and then once it comes out, the dude snaps. And people try to make it sound like, oh, they're so innocent and they shouldn't be harmed. It's like, look, I don't want people out here getting etched out in the streets. Don't get me wrong, but at the same damn time, right? Don't be out here deceiving people, okay? Because do you remember? I don't know if you watched it, Tim, but the Christy Mack case, right, with War Machine.
Oof.
She wound up inviting War Machine over without that other guy knowing that. He doesn't. So now he's in a position where he can wind up getting killed by a professional mixed martial arts fighter, right? These broads and dudes masquerading as broads can get you fucking killed. Or in my case, almost permanently broken with erectile dysfunction.
Which is like death, anyways.
Which is basically death. And I'm here to say this shit right now, man. For anybody who was curious. When it comes to this shit, if somebody would have asked me beforehand, I would have said, you can't really, ED's not a real thing, right? Like, oh, maybe that guy has to take some medication that caused him to have, some side effects or something like that, right? No, no. ED is fucking real. When you almost deep dick a tranny, you realize that ED is fucking real, man. It is real, and it is real fucking limp. You understand? Limp. Limp. My dick shriveled up for 11 fucking months. What that did to my psyche, what that did to my outlook on life. You know, when you go outside, you see the sun, and you're like, this is a beautiful day. I can assure y'all, it's not a beautiful day when you almost dick down a fucking tranny, okay? It's not a beautiful day when the best kisser you ever had might have had a penis at some point. That's a tough pill to swallow, right? I shouldn't have said swallow. That's a bad fucking word choice.
Oh.
Shit.
We're about to have a relapse.
Yeah, right? It's like you go through things in life and you see things from a different perspective and you start realizing, man, listen, I don't want to hear anyone cry that they're a victim anymore. And so that's how I became so much more savage. Because before, don't get me wrong, Tim, I was always me, but I would still have like a little bit of niceness to me, right? Like hey, I'm not gonna be too overboard, right? Once you go through shit like that, you get changed. Because now it's like, look, man, I don't have time for any of these fucking games, man. I have to be ruthless with people. Because if you're not, they're gonna start doing some weird shit on you. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you get to a point in your life, like, I don't want weird. I don't want any weird shit going on in my life. None. I don't want anybody pretending to be something. Nothing. Anything weird, I don't need it. I don't want it. And so yeah, watch yourselves out there, guys. You know what I'm saying? I don't want what happened to me to happen to you. Hopefully, there's a guy out there who experienced my story and it stopped either before or at where my story stopped, and you didn't wind up getting head by a tranny. You didn't wind up smashing a tranny. You didn't wind up wifing up a tranny. You didn't wind up, I don't know, bunker busting in the third hole with a pre-op tranny. You didn't do anything that involved a tranny that you didn't want to, right? Or God forbid you're the hangover too and get drugged, and then I put my sperm in you. You don't want to be about that life, man. You don't want to be about that. So, I mean, I hope it was worth the wait. I know it's been a long time coming. A lot of self-help, self-therapy for what happened to me and my dick and my mojo and my internal happiness, which is expressed externally as an erect penis. And yeah, I hope that this has been a great Christmas for you guys. And Merry Christmas 2020. Let me know. Comment, share, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think. And that is that. That is the Thad story. I hope to talk to you guys soon. Peace out.
Stay frosty, everyone. Something you want to get off your chest there, buddy?
It was a shitty time, man. It was a shitty time. It was like that Charles Dickens, right? It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.